Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 15th of August in the year 2024, and the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made. And for that matter, we should rejoice and be glad in it. And so I take this opportunity to invite the whole world to join me to give thanks to God for this beautiful and wonderful day that He has granted unto us. And life in general, life is beautiful, life is wonderful, life is glorious, life is God Himself, flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic, why you must think positively and on purpose. I repeat, why you must think positively and on purpose. The world we live in, and with the general concept that we hold, that we have been, trained to accept, is that there are other things that are working against us. And therefore, whatever we are looking for are not coming to us because some people are working against us. But as a matter of fact, that is not the truth. The truth is that you are the only person working against your own progress. But before we go on, let us just pause here and ask ourselves some few questions. Have you ever asked yourself why the things that you need badly, you want badly, doesn't come to you? Even upon doing all your prayers and all your rituals and other things, sacrifices that you think God demands from you to do for you in order for you to get whatever you're looking for Him, it doesn't come. But we also know that at the same time, things that we don't want, things that we have never thought of, they walk into our lives so easily, effortlessly. And also, in most cases, things that we wanted badly doesn't come to us. But when the situation, the circumstances for which we needed that thing has passed, and our mind is off that particular thing, then eventually it walks into our life effortlessly. Do we ask for it, or do we seek explanation for this? Why are all these things happening? And so the focus of our today's discussion is to expose you to these things that are peculiar to every human being. Whatever I'm talking about is related to every human being. Whether you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are an Asian, you are an African, you are European, or whatever. These things are normal and they happen in our lives. And so, as a human being, you are not here as a victim, but you are here as a creator of your own realities. And so, I have been speaking on the topic, thinking deliberately. We need to think on purpose. But why do we have to think on purpose? And how come that we are creating our own realities? Yes, as a human being, you exist in two parts. As I explained yesterday, you have your higher self or your soul, that is God. And you have your personality in this body, on this earth. That is an extension of your higher soul. And the agreement is that you co-create with your higher self on earth here. And the way you go about it is that you are supposed to look at your surroundings, things that you are lacking, things that you are lacking will arouse a desire in you. And once you desire, you don't even need to offer words, though we've been told that we need to express it, but that doesn't mean whether you offer words or not. A particular negative situation instinctively and naturally arouses a desire in you as a solution to that particular situation. And when it comes that way, your higher self or your soul automatically becomes that. And you, as a human being or as part of the soul, must think in alignment with the thinking of your soul, such that that thing that your soul has expanded to become will also become your reality on earth here. But because we are surrounded with contrast, negative situations, and for lack of understanding, we tend to concentrate on the negative ones. And therefore, when we've trained ourselves to believe that when we talk about the negative things, that is when we will get a solution to that. But the fact is that the more we talk about the negative ones, we talk about it in a negative way, the more we create it or we expand it because we are moving away or we are separating ourselves from that which our self, our higher self has become. And so that is how our life is. We are governed by laws. And the law that manages all our relationship with everything in this world is called the law of attraction. And the law of attraction simply states, or the essence of the law of attraction is that that which is like unto itself is drawn. We know this in our common terminology or in our common language as birds with the same feathers flock together. Like attract likes. And so your life is simply attraction. And you attract things into your life based on how harmonious you are with your higher self or how you are out of harmony with your higher self. That is a fact. And so these three things comes in together to form or to create your reality. You as a thinking being in the physical world, and you or your higher self as a thinking being in the non-physical world. And then the law of attraction becomes the manager of the relationship between you and yourself, your lower self and your higher self. And so when a situation arises and you think about it in a negative way, the law of that negative thinking creates a rift between you and your higher self. And therefore, the law of attraction will not arrange you with what your inner self has become. But meanwhile, the answer has already been given. Yours is to allow it into your experiences. But the law of attraction looks at the emotional state in which you are. And your emotional state is created based on your relationship with your higher self. So once you think in negative terms, you feel the pain. And the law of attraction takes it and matches with people who are also feeling in exact manner. And it brings them into your life for you to co-create a situation. And so you see that when you are in a situation, when you are in a particular circumstances, that particular situation is like a stick in your hands. It has two ends. One end is the absence of what you desire. And that is what you are seeing right now, momentarily. The other end is the presence of that desire, what you are looking for. But the law expects you to overlook what you are going through right now and then think only about what you expect to be. And the law, as you do that, as a matter of fact, you have already expanded. Your higher self, your soul has already expanded as a result of you having that desire. Your soul has already expanded to that thing. And so when you think in positive, that is in alignment with your higher self, then the law of attraction aligns you with you and your higher self and arranges all the people, things, circumstances that are needed to bring your desire into a reality. This is how you operate. But when you think in the negative, or you choose the other side of the stick, which is the current circumstances that you are going through, and you allow it to beat you, you allow it to, take control of your mind, such that you think about it, you worry about it, you fret about it, all your prayers and everything that you are doing are always out of negative influence, or you are being influenced by the situation negatively, then know that you have created a rift between you and your higher self. And therefore, the law of attraction will look into the universe and only pair you with people who are in a similar situation. Then they come to you, and then, or they come into your experiences, and then, or your life, and then you co-create that situation. So you keep magnifying it. And that is why when you need something, and you say you need it badly, such that it is causing you worry, anxiety, you cannot sleep. The reason why that particular thing runs away from you is that what you are thinking puts you on a certain vibration that the law of attraction has no choice but to pair you with more of those things. And so people say that what I don't want is what I see in my life. And normally we say it is the work of the devil, it is the work of the evil or the witches, but that is not the truth. The truth is that you are governed by laws. And therefore, the law doesn't discriminate. The law doesn't know whether you are right or wrong or whether you are a victim or whatever. But the law only looks at your emotional state. That is the vibrational frequency that you are emitting into the universe. And this emotional state or the vibrational frequency comes as a result of your relationship between you and your lower self and your higher self. And so having this understanding at the back of your mind, your only duty in life is to think on purpose, deliberately. Because the law of attraction is always at work. You can look at the law of attraction as the law of gravity. The law of gravity existed before every one of us came into this world. The day your mother gave birth to you, if they accidentally dropped you or throw you into the air, the law will not say that, oh, this is a newborn baby, and therefore I will exempt this baby from falling to the ground. But the law, just because you have weight, and the law too is static, or the law doesn't change, whether your parents threw you into the air, purposely or accidentally, by law, you, the baby, the baby that has nothing, that has no knowledge of what is going on, must fall to the ground. That is a fact. It does not matter who you are. It does not matter what your circumstances may be. The law of gravity will never exempt any human being from the effects that must come when you break it. And so that is how it is with the law of attraction. So if you do not have any reason to doubt or to question the existence of the law of gravity, then you must not have any reason to question the existence of the law of attraction. The fact is that everything in your life, every circumstances, every situation, everything that you are going through in your life, you attract it to yourself by the way you think, good or bad. That is a fact. And so you don't want the bad things in your life. And that is why you must be deliberate. You must think with the mind that even though what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing right now, it's not what I want, but if I keep on thinking about it, the law of attraction will bring in more and more thoughts about these things. And as I do that, I gather momentum. And once the momentum, goes to a certain level, there is nothing that can stop it except that particular thing coming into my life. And therefore, you catch yourself right at the beginning. When you begin to think about anything that generates negative emotions, question yourself. As I said, the cardinal questions: what am I thinking and how am I feeling? And so when you take this and you put it in your life and make it as your cardinal principles that governs your life, you will think on purpose. You will not just allow your mind to run wild, and you will not allow circumstances, situations to drag you into thinking negatively. The most important thing that you must consider at all the time, or the next questions that you must always ask yourself at any moment in time, or at any moment when you are in a particular situation, when you are about to take any action, when you begin to think about something, ask yourself, under what influence am I operating? Am I under the influence of my higher self, which is good, positive, wonderful, or I am under the influence of my lower self, which is fear, worry, and anxiety? And so these two things will guide you. These two things will be able to, if you know this and apply this, you can use these two things to guide yourself and know and think only in the positive, be only in the area that you want to experience. So your life is simply more or less a stick that you hold in your hand, the good and the bad, the present and the absent. And so you see that we tend to think that when we talk about things in the way that they are, that is how we will get answers to them. But that is not the truth. The law of attraction and the universe, the way they consider your thinking about what, take your thinking or your focus as your expectation. That is a fact. And so, when you are in a position, we are in a situation like poverty, you do not have money. And therefore, all the time, what you are daily awakened to is the lack of money in your life. You have no capacity. You cannot even declare into your life that something good can come to you. Even if someone says that to you, you'll be offended because for you, looking at your present situation, nothing can change. If you hold this mindset, if you're organizing your life this way, they know that you are only expecting poverty in your life, and that is what the law of attraction or the universe will bring into your life. You see, and so we are thinking and acting against our own self in ignorance of the law. And so you need to think deliberately. You need to be a deliberate thinker because you are not just an object that is passing through this earth, but you are a force. You are a powerful force, an extension of God that you must think in alignment with your higher or your parent self. And while this thinking goes on, the thinking dynamics goes on between you and your higher self, the law of attraction is always there to manage this relationship and also to bring people who are of like-minded, who are of the same nature into your experiences, good or bad. And so, things that you do not want normally comes into your life because you are dwelling on them, even though in your mind you think that you are fighting them. The best way to solve this situation, the best way to go about this is do not think about that. If you don't have money, think of something different. Or daydream. Daydream that you are a rich man. And daydream. Keep on doing that. If you can do it, it's up to the point that you don't feel any negative feeling about this, your act. The play that you are creating, acting and watching, it will get to the point that it becomes your reality. That is how the law works. So the concentration of the absence of money brings about poverty. But if we can concentrate on the fact that the universe is bountiful, there is no scarcity. And therefore, even though momentarily you don't have the money that you were looking for, but you are rich, you have it in the vibrational world. If you do that and just let the absence of it go, you will grow to become that. And so this is not done by anything except the law of attraction. So you are governed by laws. You are governed by laws. And therefore, that is why you must think deliberately. The law doesn't change to suit you. The law will not change to suit you. And so deliberate thinking on purpose is looking at your situation and ask yourself, what do I want? Do I want this current situation? If you don't want, then think of the presence of the opposite. That is the solution to it. If you don't have money, if you are going through difficult times financially, do not sound a drum. Do not make it a movie. Do not make it whatever songs that you will sing on the lips and also take on your lips and then take it to bed. But look at it that you are only in transition, moving into your abundance, and daydream and think about it, move about it, walk about it, and be that, and you will grow to become. You see, so nothing ever is in this world, all is becoming. And so present situation, current circumstances are illusions. You don't want them, so do not concentrate on it. But the fact is that the key thing that tricks mankind is talking about something that you know in your life that it is not the actual situation. So people feel bad. People think they are lying, but that is not lying. You are being a deliberate creator. That is it. And if you don't have the ability to do this, then you keep on recreating the old one. And that is why what we don't want is what we keep on recreating. We keep on recreating. There is an answer. And the answer to it is that the law of attraction is always there to feed you, to bring all the people, thoughts, and circumstances that matches your thinking. If you are thinking about the lack of money, then the lack of money will control to entrenched. But if you break the cycle and think about abundance, then the abundance will appear in your life. If you are thinking about sickness, if you are sick and you are only worrying and suffering and talking about how painful your sickness is, the law of attraction will bring more thoughts and circumstances to to increase that situation. But if you can break the cycle and think in the opposite and dwell in it and daydream in that way, you become that opposite too. So life is simply a psychology. Life is simply a deliberate affair. We are governed or we are surrounded by laws. And so long as we exist in this physical world, we must always think in alignment with our higher self. And our higher self, or God, is positive, Godward, upward, onward. And for that matter, we must always discipline ourselves to think deliberately, to be in alignment, to be in sync with our higher self of God. That is my message for you. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open, such that they do not fall on us, that keeps the planets in their orbits, such that they do not clash with one another, lead and guide you, open your mind, illumine you, be illuminated, be empowered, be energized, and also be led to discover your true powers and know that you are a being of thought. And as a being of thought, your thoughts and all relationships in your life are governed by the law of attraction. And the essence of the law of attraction is that that which is like unto itself is drawn. Like attracts likes. Birds of the same feather flocks together. That is my message for you. Thank you, and God bless you. Once more, please do not forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel, and also share this message in your network. Help us to bring this message of empowerment and enlightenment into our communities, our societies, such that we will co-create a life that befits us as the people in our current dispensation. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a beautiful and a wonderful day.